Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the show. Today is Monday, 19th of July, 2021. Thank you for tuning in. Now, listen, guys. Oh, my goodness. Found out about something last night. And I mean, I should have known about it, but, the media is not carrying the story very much. But it should be the biggest story across all of North America because of the ramifications of it. It's a black swan. If it continues. And now, this is the big thing about it is if it continues, it's a black swan. Because of the implications of the spin-offs of it. Okay, we've seen a number of, we'll call it financial explosions within the system. Financial explosions that were black swans like the coronavirus. This could be a bigger black swan than the coronavirus. But these other explosions were just regular explosions. Financial explosions. This is a financial, it could be a financial explosion too, but with a difference. It's got shrapnel in it. Okay? This could be very serious. It's like, when I saw it last night, I mean, I should have known about it. When I saw it last night, I was like, oh my gee. Oh my goodness. Oh my. I can't believe this is actually happening. It's unreal. It's big. It's really big if it continues. Now, if it stops, things might go back to normal. But if it continues, it could cut deep into the system. It could cause massive collateral damage in the system. And most people just look at it and they gloss right over it. A lot of you guys have seen it. You know about it. But you're like, then you move on to other stories. So many stories, actually. Like, there's so many stories out there happening, that you kind of gloss straight over it. And maybe you didn't pay too much attention. Maybe you know about it already, what I'm going to talk about. But when I saw it last night, my jaw dropped open, and I was like, oh, my goodness. This could rip the system apart if it continues. This is bad. Really, really, really bad. So now you guys are probably sitting out there right now, and you're probably wondering, what is Glenn on about? What is he talking about? What is it that he spotted last night that upset him so bad his jaw dropped open when he saw it? Okay, I'll tell you what it is. Millions and millions and millions of Americans, waitresses, are just dropping the towel and going home. People that work in hamburger stores. They're just, it's like sometimes there's crews of like 30 people, say, working in a hamburger joint. And like 25 of them just drop what they're doing, and they just, we quit. We're going home. Millions and millions of Americans are quitting work. And they're just going home. And this means that a lot of these businesses out there, that they don't have sufficient staff. They put a sign on the window and nobody's showing up to take these jobs. Millions of people are walking off of work. And you say, well, why is that such a big deal? Well, I'll tell you, it's going to be a big deal when you run down to the hamburger joint and there's almost nobody there to make your hamburger. Or when you go to the car wash and there's nobody there to wash your car, and there's nobody there to tend it, it says closed. Or everything you do. If this continues. Now, there's no guarantee it'll continue, but it could continue, and if it continues, people just going home and deciding, hey, I ain't going to work anymore. I'm going to do something else, or I'm going to collect paycheck from the government or whatever. You can't have the entire workforce of a whole country just basically drop the towel and go home without it being big, huge. Because on the other side of this, you have to say, well, what would the government do about this? Well, giving them more money wouldn't be the solution, I can tell you that. Because more of them will just quit and go home. This is a situation. We're going to have to wait and watch and see what develops with it, whether it continues or whether it stops. Because if it continues, I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, well, what would the government do? How would they try to stem it off? Well, they probably try to stem it off by cutting back the money that they're giving these people not to work. What then? In other words, there could be, this thing could recoil and have extenuating circumstances happen from it. In other words, like now the employers might start to try to raise wages. Well, you have to understand that if they start to raise wages, then that's going to have a spin-off effect again on consumer inflation. It's going to work toward this inflation that we all got coming, I see this as being huge, a potential black swan. I say potential black swan because in order for it to become a black swan, it's going to have to continue and grow worse. Because if it's just we're going to use that word, transitory. We've been hearing that word a lot lately, but I'm using it right now. If this is just transitory, then it's not going to cut too much deeper and it won't be a really big problem and people will start going back to work. But if this is something that's going to continue into the foreseeable future and it's going to get worse and more people are going to start to leave jobs, then you're going to be impacted in every way of your life out there. You, my audience out there, you're going to be impacted. Because everywhere you go, the people that service your life, in other words, when you stop at the gas station to pump gas, you got to have that attendant in there behind the register that you're going to pay for the gas, and he's there to stay with the pumps. And if he's not there, they're going to have a big close sign on the door. Got to have employees in this world. I mean, we're not completely robotic just yet, like where you go to the grocery store and there's a robot there. And he does all your orders. No, we're not there yet. People are what gets things done in this world, right from the traffic cop, right all the way up to the administration positions and everything else. So, if people are walking off the job in mass, this is big, guys. We're going to have to keep our eye on this in this channel. So this has been an update on what's going on out there. But don't forget, this is potentially huge. Thank you guys for listening to my show. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the very next episode. Bye-bye.